and planting are some of the important packages of practices in Moriculture. Now we will see which type of land is been required for cultivation of mulberry crops. Mostly, mulberry is known as Kalpavruksha as it is been grown on several different types of soils such as medium to heavy soils and requires least quantity of water also. The quality and the quantity of the leaf of mulberry mostly depends upon the land, which type of cuttings are being used, whether fertilizer dose has been adopted correctly, water requirement and intercultural operations. Type of soil. Mostly, mulberry requires deep, well-drained and fertile soil, of whom the pH should range in between 6.5 to 7.5%. The soils such as clayey loam to loamy text soil is better suited for getting or fetching maximum yield of mulberry leaves. Now we will look to which type of climate is been suitable for cultivation of mulberry plantations. Mostly temperature which has been optimally ranging in between 22 to 30 degrees Celsius can be very good for the cultivation of mulberry, but if it goes above 38 degrees Celsius it requires water requirement frequently. Nearby 9 to 13 hours of sunlight is best within a day for good growth of mulberry leaves, and the optimum rainfall required is nearly 1000 to 2000 mm, whereas the optimum humidity requirement should be in between 65 to 80%. Land preparation. Mostly mulberry plant requires deep plowing to near about 30 to 45 centimeters as it is a deep rooted plant, followed by 2 to 3 heroines, which is been later on mixed with 20 tons of FYM per hectare in the soil. There are several varieties which are now being developed by different research stations regarding mulberry. But the most commonly preferred variety is V1, which is been very prominently been used at both stages in the chalky rearing houses along with the late age rearing houses. Mostly V1 should be used for late age larval rearing only, whereas M5, which has a vigorous growth and is mostly softer and easy for the feeding of the younger ones, should be preferred during chalky rearing. Leaving apart that, there are varieties such as Ananta, S30, S36, which is another chalky rearing variety. S54 is a special variety being developed for alkaline soil structure, which is been known as AR12. Now we will see few details about the most promising variety which has been prominently been used by maximum cultivators of mulberry is known as V1 variety. This is a hybrid variety being developed by CSIR Research Institution, which has been located in Mysore, which is been developed by a cross of S30 and a rootstock is been used of Bear variety is C776. The most important properties of this variety are the leaves are very succulent and nutritious. They are dark green in color, boat in shaped. Mostly the leaves are thick and shiny in nature and the branches grow longer and straighter in form. The yield is also excellent with a ratio of near about 55 tons per hectare per year. Mostly cuttings are being preferred as a propagation of mulberry plant. Then exactly how the preparation of cuttings should be done? Cuttings must be done from fully grown mulberry sticks up to 6 to 8 months old shoots should be mostly selected. Cuttings of nearby 7 to 8 inch in length should be preferred. Half a inch should be the diameter of the shoot. Cuttings having 4 to 5 healthy buds should be selected, and such cuttings should be treated with a growth regulator known as IBA at the rate of 1 gram, which should be dipped in 50 liters of water. How the planting should be done of these particular cuttings? On the onset of the monsoon, that is after the first shower, mostly in June or July, the cuttings should be taken and 2 cuttings should be planted at each spot along the margins of the ridges. The spacings mostly preferred by the farmers should be maintained to nearby 3 by 1.5 to 1 or 1.5 feet, and the pitch size which should be done for planting should be maintained to nearby 45 by 45 centimeters. Certain intercultural operations should be conducted within the mulberry cultivations, such as after pruning operation is been over, before 1 week intercultural operations should be carried out. Mostly weeding 1 month after planting should always be done. After first pruning, in 21 days, the weeding should be carried out and trainings are carried out later on. As everybody knows, mulberry requires least amount of water. Still, for better succurency and good growth of the vegetative leaves, mostly water should be given to nearby 60 to 2500 mm per year. The fertilizer application dose should always be maintained for high nutritional growth of that particular leaf. F1 should be applied initially at a rate of 20 tons per hectare per year, whereas in case of irrigated cultivation, first dose of 100 by 50 in a ratio of NPK per hectare should be given in 2 splits, whereas the second year onwards, mostly 350 by 150 by 150 NPA dose per year should be given in 5 splits. The above chart shows the nutritional value of the mulberry plant. The mulberry, which is having certain symptoms been observed, if been seen, shows certain deficiencies, such as if there is nitrogen deficiency, the symptoms observed are chlorosis of the leaf and slow growth of that particular plant. These plants reduce the cocoon production value also, and hence for controlling this, nitrogenous fertilizers such as urea or ammonium chloride should be applied. Whereas if there is deficiency of phosphorus, interveinal chlorosis or yellowing and drying of the leaves may be observed, which mostly reduces the mulberry leaf production, and quantity of the silk is also been lowered. For that, mostly diammonium phosphate, commonly known as DAP, should be applied. In case of potassium, the edges of the leaf dry and become susceptible to several diseases, due to which the quantity of the cocoons gets affected and lesser cocoon production is being found. Fertilizers such as muriate of potash and zinc should be applied, whereas certain micronutrients such as zinc is the major content in this particular mulberry plant, wherein yellow chlorotic spots spread on the tender leaves, due to which the quantity and quality of the cocoon is been infected and the silk is also been reduced, for which different micronutrients containing zinc should be used for reducing the above deficiencies. So this is the end of the first part of Moriculture. Till then, good day.